welcome to the show. We are all about playing you some of the best Cumbrian music picked from the Introducing Uploader. Now, are you ready for a new name? They are called Kiwi. It is Tom Taylor and Scott Milligan. And I've got Tom on the line now. Hey, Tom.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
Good. Now, I'm really excited. I always get excited when there's new bands uploading to BBC Introducing. So, Kiwi, tell us a little bit about the band. How did it come about? How long have you and Scott been running this project for?
Well, me and Scott have been kind of writing music for, well over a year. I released some tracks by myself last year. Scott's always been, we met at high school, and we've shared that passion for music. He worked really hard and helped me along with my solo releases last year. And it sounds really cliche, but it's true. It just kind of, that organic process, we just decided, why not start putting some stuff out together? Let's get together, start a group. He's much more talented than me musically, so I could use all the help I could get, really.
That's cool that it wasn't a forced outcome, or it wasn't a forced thing. Yeah. It all just flowed and meshed together quite nicely. Tom, you mentioned there about your solo work, and I was going to bring this up because I really enjoyed it when I heard your music for the first time on the uploader, as when you uploaded as Tom Taylor. So that was last year, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm sure. I remember playing you last year. So,
yeah, absolutely.
What was it like kind of putting your music out there for the first time on the Introducing Uploader? Because I know you didn't start performing in front of crowds and to people until you went to university. Is that right? You're 22 now,
yeah? So I'm 22 now. Yeah, you're right. So I started at university. I was playing with one of my friends, actually, just playing guitar at first, and I gradually became more comfortable on stage. I started singing a little bit more. Started doing some open mic nights and stuff. I went to university in York. It's like a brilliant music scene there. And then that passion took off from there. I began writing some of my own things. I finally got the courage to kind of, take the plunge, upload it to BBC Introducing. And thankfully the reaction was really good. So.
And I guess now it's been a little bit tricky because you can't gig, and yourself and Scott can't gig with the new outfit. But what's the plan for Kiwi going forward? And then we'll kind of talk about this debut single that we're going to play as well.
Yeah, so we've been writing for the last kind of year, I guess. In lockdown, it's maybe not come at the worst time for us being able to spend all that time just sending back and forward ideas to each other. Working on riffs and melodies, and that's generally how our writing has gone, sending things back and forth, seeing if we like it, or if it's terrible, we'll then bin it straight away. We've got a good backlog of songs now, but we really want to start gigging. We're really desperate to start gigging. I'm sure everyone will be saying the same thing, but it's just working out kind of how best to go from here. We're trying to release a song on the last Friday of each month for the next 2 or 3 months if we can, drum up a bit of interest, and hopefully start gigging as soon as possible.
So a question I've got for you in terms of when you said sending those messages backwards and forwards when you were writing songs together, usually in normal circumstances, you'd be in the same room, you'd be jamming with each other, vibing off each other's energy. How does that play out when you're just kind of sending messages backwards and forwards? I know that vibe won't be the same, but do you still get that excitement when Scott sends you, I don't know, a guitar line and you're just like, yes, that is what we need in this track?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're on the same page. Musically, we seem to just bounce off each other really well. It's kind of, obviously you don't get that buzz of being in the room and having that kind of light bulb moment where everything kind of clicks into place and you're like, yes, this is the beginning of something. But, it does happen still when we send things back and forward, and there'll be, maybe one progression where we're like, that is the one we need to centre on. So it still happens. It's not quite the same. It's not probably quite as exciting, but it's given us a lot of time, at least, to get stuff right. Yeah,
and you've got all that to look forward to, I guess, as well as the gigs later in the year, all being well. You mentioned that you were going to be releasing one song every Friday. You said you had a big backlog. So how many songs are we talking?
So the last Friday of each month, hopefully for the next 2 or 3 months. So we've got 5 or 6 songs that we're pretty confident are pretty much ready to go. They need to be produced properly. We're using Andres at Heavy Rain Sound Studio, so shout out to him. He's been fantastic in terms of making our songs sound full and big. I've got to give a shout out to Toby Weatherall on drums as well, who's transformed all of our songs. They sound fantastic. But yeah, so we're aiming to try and get one out last Friday of each month for the next 2-3 months, at least, maybe longer. Hopefully the reaction will be really good. We're really happy with them. We're really proud of how they sound. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I am looking forward to hearing what's to come. Let's talk about your debut single, which is called Addiction. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I guess it kind of started with a lot of our songs, which was just, I wrote a melody on my, a progression, on my acoustic guitar, sent that over to Scott. We hit a chord straight away. We're like, yeah, that sounds like something. Scott started working on riffs and melodies, how all our writing has been, really. It came together really quickly. We ended up finishing the song, probably lyric-wise, in only a couple of hours. We tend to not overthink things too much. It's quite a good relationship like that because our ideas are very similar. I recorded my parts in the bedroom. Scott's got a similar kind of setup in his because obviously we couldn't go anywhere to record them. And that's when we decided to pull together these individual elements, send it to a good studio, someone who cares about the music. So Andres was really perfect for that Heavy Rain Sound studio. I guess it's about that initial infatuation with someone that feels kind of like an addiction, whether that's a good or a bad thing. You just can't seem to help that feeling. It's quite easy listening. I think so anyway. We like to think it's quite catchy. So yeah, hopefully everyone will enjoy it.
Well, those are kind of two words that I would describe it as: easy listening, and terms I would use: easy listening and catchy, definitely. Before we play the song, you're split between Cumbria and Lancashire, are you?
Yeah.
Is Scott based in Lancashire and you're based south of Cumbria, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Scott's based in Holton.
Great. So you're going to be looking at getting gigs, hopefully, in Lancashire and Cumbria?
Yeah, all over the place, as many places as possible, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I'll keep an eye out for you. I'm really excited to be playing your debut single on BBC Music, introducing In Cumbria. Tom, thank you very much. And let's hear Addiction.